Welcome! If you're new here, my name is Brenna. I am your Bribeable with Chocolate and Tacos DM, and welcome to Tales from the Catacombs. This is our tabletop RPG adventure that we are thrilled to share with you. This game uses the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition D20 system and rules, and the setting is a homebrew based off of the rock opera, or the rock musical, Razia's Shadow by Forgive Durden. We do have a brief introduction to the setting so that you can read it at your own leisure, and I hope you will. That way you can get more immersed into the world that my players know, that I sort of came up with myself a little bit. And then you'll be caught up with the story. So without further ado, please enjoy this episode of Razia's Shadow, a 1,000-year interlude. And now to recap. Session 2, Testing Nettle. So the party and 5 other novices began their test to escape these vines as Captain Nora Isalin silently witnessed. With their seats chosen in the room very purposefully, each novice formulated a plan. Some chose steady observation with bolstering spells on themselves like Ste'yn, and superficial spells against the enchanted flora like Snow. Snow was able to deduce that these vines were not real while simply invisible, but rather they were likely conjured from nothing by the guard who was always in step with Captain Nora. Other novices, like Viola and a Goliath and a halfling, tested the vine's strength with immediate and painful consequence. Beau chose a different route, striking stealthily at the guard who had summoned the vines. He observed that the spell faltered momentarily with a successful hit, but he wasn't able to complete a second strike, missing spectacularly. Nat ones will do that. And piercing himself instead with psychic blades. 2 quiet observers, a cloaked male and a gnomish female, seemed to listen in while the party helped each other by walking through their observations. An older dwarven male with polished metals entered the room and immediately drew Nora's attention away from the test. He introduced himself to an inquisitive Beau as Granel Bronstone, but didn't say more before stepping out again, leaving Nora slightly shaken. The male Goliath and a brightly colored, very pink and purple human female took no heed of warnings and broke the vines, one with strength, one with intellect. But both were failed. With a little more time, the rest of the party chose stillness, and without any further struggle to the vines or their creator, they were freed. All but Beau exited the room, and he was left to inquire to Nora about a few subjects of interest, including Nora's own experience with guardianship. Her answers were unsatisfying. The novices were left to their own accord within the Peace District once more, and would be told the consequences of their actions in the morning. So here we are. It is just after the exam, this test you were given. Afterwards, you guys were shown about what is known as the Novice Hut, clearly some kind of term of endearment, because it is quite a large facility. You're shown various rooms that are within it, whether it's a mess hall, a library, a chapel, other lounging areas. You were shown also your barracks, the sleeping quarters, which were upstairs. The way the sleeping quarters were sort of set up, there's a male and a female side. There are rooms with bunk beds, and then there's like a central kind of meeting area. There's mailing boxes for each person. There's lounging chairs, couches. It's not glamorous, certainly not glamorous, but it is definitely a place to be. If your original intention was to at least have a roof over your head, you definitely have it. So the rest of the evening is yours. You have, again, full reign of the Peace District. What are you guys up to this evening?
All right, well, Beau is, I mean, you said we're all together, right? So I can see Viola.
you guys went wherever you pleased. If you guys stayed together, you're welcome to have stayed together. If you had a particular place you were wandering off to, it's up to you.
Well then, is she still there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Beau's gonna approach Viola. Hey, Viola, are you up to anything?
No, I'm not doing anything right now.
So I had a wonder. You got stood up, you said, or not stood up, but you said there was a person that got lost, trying to find you the sparring partner earlier that wouldn't fight you. All right.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but it was whoever Storkum's sparring partner was. I saw him sparring whenever they walked in, but I don't know the name of the partner.
Stokum?
Storkum is who he was sparring with, and then Storkum's partner is who I had spoken to. I was just trying to see who Storkum was, and he told me his name and whatnot. And I asked him if he wanted to spar, and he said that he was basically too good to spar with me, and that he thought he was going to hurt me. Whatever. I think it's just kind of like he didn't really want to hurt his manhood kind of thing. But anyways, he went to the rally district to try and find someone to spar with me, and I think he just got lost or something on the way back. And then Snow and I ended up sparring together for a little bit, but you were there for that part. But I don't know the name of the partner.
I see. So were they the ones that were fighting when we came in?
Yes, yeah. Storkum was the one with like the really nice plate armor. I think he was fighting with 2 short swords maybe to begin with, and then he kind of switched to a rapier maybe or something else. And but yes, he was the one with like the really nice armor, the really elaborate fighter.
Do you want to take a little trip with me to go and scope out the sparring section, and maybe we can find that guy from earlier?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea to me.
All right. How far away is that from where we are?
The sparring area?
Yeah, like where they were at before.
So the sparring area is directly across from this town square area from the novice hut, from the Wild Pike. So if you exit the Wild Pike, you're in that town square cobblestoned area, and then on the other side of it was the sparring tent. So not far at all.
Okay, so it was an indoor tent. It wasn't like an outdoor thing?
There is a tent, a large tent set up, and then beside it, there is a roped off outdoor sparring area, which is where you guys saw the bit of sparring that happened earlier, because they have dummies, they have the poles. That's where they were sparring earlier.
Okay. Well, Viola, you talked with him a little bit more, so what about I'll help you out looking around for him. Can I offer her help, and then she can make the check with advantage to see if we can see this guy at the range? If she did like a perception check with advantage with my help.
First, I want to hear Viola describe him. She's like, did I take notes on this one?
Give me a second. I'll send you the Hero Forge mini. 1 minute.
I know what that looks like. I feel like I don't even remember.
I'll be real honest. I don't know if I properly described him. I
was gonna say I don't know if his face got described to me. I think
he was a very punchable face.
he did have a very punchable face.
I do know he was shorter than me. Which was kind of awkward because when we were walking out of the tent, he put his arm around me, and it was just kind of weird.
Weird guy.
Give me I will let Viola, who I'm sure was very excited at the time and was very focused on the other gentleman whose name dropped as Storkum. I will let Viola give me a straight intelligence check with advantage to see if she can recall enough detail to help you find her. I will make this on her.
12?
That's with advantage? It rolled it properly? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. You have a pretty good idea. You recall dark hair. You recall kind of the features weren't necessarily outstanding, but he had a handsomeness to him. Nice cheekbones, things that ladies might notice as they're admiring even one with good fighting skills. You also notice other things. Good cheekbones. There were no identifying like scars or anything like that, but you could tell he seemed to stand out a little bit in that he also was wearing good armor, even just for, say, sparring with some other folks. He was still wearing better armor than one might if they're just messing around or just practicing. That seemed to be noteworthy anyway.
So can we walk out to the sparring area and just kind of look around? Like, I'm assuming I know his face well enough that I would recognize him if I saw him.
Oh,
Can we walk
I
out
thought
there
we
and-
got there already. I thought we made our walk.
Oh, okay. So can I look around and see if I see him?
For sure. You could both do a perception check.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh yeah, 16.
18.
Wow.
Always getting
Excellent.
stood up.
Beau also is looking for this very handsome gentleman. No, no. So you look about the sparring area. Let's see if you see him. You have a very clear idea of what you're looking for. You're looking through all of the people who are still there, and there are a fair number of people who are kind of out and about still. It seems like today has just been a very exciting day with new people coming in. There just seems to be a lot of commotion going about. So while you guys are looking around, you do see other people who are using the sparring area. You see people who are watching, maybe even taking note. Viola, just give me a high or low. Just pick one, high or low.
Hi.
Okay. As you're looking around, you see everyone fighting, but you don't spot him. You spot a lot of very good fighters, but you don't spot him in that crowd.
Do I notice any of the other? Because it was like a group of them, right? There was a couple other guys with them. I'm guessing I don't see any of them either. Or maybe I wouldn't recognize them if I did.
You see a group of people. One of them might look a little familiar. With an 18, one of them might look a little familiar.
So,
You might assume.
Can I, if I just didn't roll high enough, can I use a psychonic dice? Because this is one of the things, and it is that if I fail a check, I could roll that to try and pass it. So if we just didn't make the cut, I do have an opening with those.
Is that like a once per day kind of like slot used?
4 times per day, actually.
4 times a day?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? Go use
Alright,
one.
It's a d6. So I had 16 before. Plus 6, 22.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I will mark off one of my dice.
Go for it, because I literally was saying in my head, the only way I'm going to allow this is if he gets a 6.
Yeah, I get 4 per day, but I could also use a bonus action to recover one too. So technically, I get 5.
What? Oh.
Yeah, and I'll get even more as we level up.
That's very cool. I like that. That's a neat trick you got there. Be a shame if a DM sunk it. No.
You're gonna sink my mind.
I don't know why this Red Hot Chili Pepper song just got in my head, but we'll talk about it later. So you are looking about. Viola spots someone, starts maybe moving in that direction. She thinks she might recognize, and not too far off behind him, actually heading away from the sparring area at that time. You do catch sight of a little glint, even in the evening light, since it's past sunset at this point. You catch a little glint of some nice looking armor. Not the most spectacular armor, but it seems out of place a bit. Doffed or donned upon this gentleman who seems to have these broad shoulders. He's got swords. He's got a sword on his hip, on his way, walking with a few other people. You hear some haughty laughter coming from that direction as they're leaving this town square area.
So when you say leaving, are they coming towards us or are they going like the opposite direction? Because towards us, they'd be heading towards
Away.
the square, right? So
They're heading away,
from the
like
square?
towards, yeah, like southbound, like away.
Viola, is that guy over there?
Let me see. I mean, is it?
I mean, you're taller than me. You should be able to see his face.
It's
Yes.
familiar looking armor.
Look
yes.
up.
Yeah, I think that's him. Let's run over and see what happened yesterday.
All right, let's go. Well, earlier today, it's the same day, but let's go.
Oh, yeah.
On our way, do I spot, since this is a sparring area, do I see any rapiers that are just off on the side? Like,
Just randomly strewn about?
yeah, like, because I don't know if there's just like equipment that's there for like training purposes, like people just leave it there to train with, and then it would also be used for other things.
The only thing you immediately see are some dummy swords, some, training tools. They're not really going to do much good.
That's the only thing I
Snow
see
have
initially.
followed them?
What was that, Snow?
Can Snow have followed them?
To go with Viola and Beau?
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Yeah.
Ste'yn.
Yeah, Ste'yn's following too.
Oh, what?
She's not letting me know.
Beau's not leaving her sight.
I wasn't trying to have a whole parade. All right, well, we're running, so are you guys running after us?
Yeah, you guys are welcome to go with them if you're following suit. You're
So
welcome
if they're
to, but
following
yeah.
suit, something that I also want to do, Viola, can you refresh my mind, since you saw him too, the description of, what was his name, Stormcloak? Storkum? Can she help me to remember as many details as I can of him? As we run?
I mean, he's tall, really, really nice armor. I think he was a really good fighter. I can't really remember his face or any other defining details of him at the moment.
Okay. What do I have to roll to see how well I remember his description?
For you?
Yeah, because I saw him.
Oh, you definitely saw him. I'll let you roll an intelligence as well, but I would put this at disadvantage. I don't think that this was
even
necessarily something you were keeping an eye out on your way in, the way
so
that
it's
she might have
intelligence
been.
with disadvantage?
You're welcome to use another one of your psychotic dice or whatever.
Scion.
Okay, so that's a 7.
Sure.
That's a 7.
No,
Well,
we're
Beau
gonna
might
we're
be.
gonna keep it. Let's keep the lore. It's psychotic dice.
For Beau?
For Beau, I don't know. It might be psychotic.
Yeah. So
I know what I'm doing.
I got a 7. So what does that get me?
It gets you. You remember armor. It was nice. It was really nice armor. That's actually pretty good for a 7. It's like really nice armor.
So,
like Gucci levels,
how confident,
like Versace armor.
Okay, how about this? How confident would Beau be in his thoughts towards his memory of this guy?
How confident would Beau be?
Yeah, like, do you, like, thinking of it that way, piecing it together, getting a 7, would he be like, yeah, this is definitely him, or would he be like, I can't remember? Would you say?
I'd leave that to you. If you want to go with it and be like, this seems like the guy.
All I remember is a moving suit of armor, basically.
A nice moving suit of armor.
Okay, well, I'm not delusional then, and I will. I won't do that. I won't do what I was thinking with that. All right, so we're just gonna continue moving on.
Okay.
Yeah, Viola's gonna run up to him and get his attention and say hey.
So you run up, get his attention.
So actually,
he kind of.
I'm sorry. So before she gets his attention, Beau's gonna veer off to the side. Is there anything that he can crouch behind?
Rogue time.
Give me a stealth check.
All right, come on, stealth. Woohoo! 26.
Yes, there's a lot going on in this town square. There's people who are standing still or just moseying around. There are benches. There are stacks and crates of things and all manner of something you can find, for sure.
Okay. Am I within earshot of them? Still, being like veered off. Can I hear like Viola as she goes up to them?
If they don't keep moving, you probably could stay within earshot.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna try and sneak and remain in earshot as they're about to talk.
So you're going to be kind of moving from hiding spot to hiding spot?
If they move, then yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Viola, you get this man's attention. He turns his head over his shoulder, starts to turn his head back, turns his head back towards you. Yes? Can I help you?
So I'm assuming it's the right guy. It's the unknown partner.
You see his face and you recognize his face, yes.
Okay. Hello. How are you this afternoon or evening? How are you this evening?
Doing quite well, thank you. How are you yourself?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. We just got through our first novice task. It went pretty well.
Novice.
Yes,
Welcome.
so I spotted you from across the way and I recognized your armor from earlier. And so I just wanted to come up and see what had happened because I remember you said that you were going to try and find someone in the rally district for me to spar with, but then you never came back. And so I didn't know if you maybe got lost or something. You know, I don't know how new you are at all this. So I just wanted to see what had happened.
And he stops and kind of has this pondering look on his face as he's considering your words, and you see his eyes kind of moving as he's thinking, tapping his chin. Saw you earlier, did I? Not. I think I would recognize someone as beautiful and, well, clearly very talented. You look the part for certain. I'm sorry, I can't seem to recall. But if you are looking for a sparring partner, there's plenty of people about.
Okay, well, I did see you fighting with Storkum, you said his name was earlier, which actually, by the way, what is your name? I didn't catch your name earlier.
Me, I'm no one of import. Now, if you are a fan of the Avenger, are you?
Oh, is that what they call him?
Oh, it's what everyone calls him.
Oh,
I wouldn't go around using actual names. Not that it's hidden or anything, but it's really kept for those who are of closer contact. Which you mentioned you were a novice, and I'm sure one day you could be excellent. Maybe just not today, but one day you could, I'm sure.
Oh, interesting. So actually, if you wouldn't mind, I really still would love to spar. I sparred with one of my friends earlier, and it was really fun and quite the show, but I really would love to just test my strength a little bit. So would you mind stepping into the ring and sparring a little bit?
With me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's very kind of you to want to ask me. I'm flattered. To be able to teach a novice? Can't think of a greater thing, but you see, it's rather late in the day, and I've been sparring all day, working up and using my strength. I'm about to head back to my own bunk and get ready for resting. I have a lot to do in the morning, you know. It's when you become a guard, you have a lot to do. Just don't always have time to be here in the Peace District. Do you understand?
I see. Well, you know what? I really admire you being higher up in the levels. You know, I really just would love the opportunity to spar with you at some point in time. So if you wouldn't mind like giving me your name, maybe telling me where I could find you in the future, that we could make this work. I mean, since the moment we got here, seeing you fight with Storkum, I was just so enamored with the way that you were moving and fighting, even though you lost. I would really love to spar with you at some point in time. So wouldn't you mind just please, for me, a young, beautiful girl wanting to be a guard one day, just give me your name.
That much I could do for you. I could do that for you. And your name was?
Viola Vergarden.
Viola Vergarden. A lovely name. Torval. Nice to meet you. And he holds his hand out to shake.
And I grab his hand kind of like this and hold it up as if I like for him to kiss it.
He takes your hand and he bends his head and he touches your hand to his forehead. He doesn't kiss your hand. He'll touch your hand to his forehead before he releases it. He looks back at you. A lot of us are here in the Peace District today simply to welcome novices such as yourselves who have, oh, so much to learn. And we are honored to be able to help you, although that is what your captains are for, in case that's something else you didn't know. Your captains will teach you quite a bit. So when I do get around to coming back into this area, it is a bit of a luxury to present ourselves here, but when we do get back around to it, I would be happy to come and find you.
Well, thank you so very much for your kindness. I really do hope that you have the best of evenings.
You as well, Lady Vairgarden. Vairgarden. Where are you from?
Oh, I've been traveling all over the place. I don't really know if you would know of, where I'm from, because I've been to a few different continents and all that, so.
The world's not that large. Not when half of it is shrouded in darkness. We only have so many places to go left in the light.
Well, as you said, it is getting very late, so we should probably be returning to our sleeping quarters.
Very good, Lady Vairgarden. Keep your chin up. You'll do just fine, novice. And he turns around and he regards Snow, who had said hello, I believe, when she said she sparred earlier, gives him a brief nod, and then he begins walking again.
When he makes eye contact, I just have a quick question. Torval, super quick, I don't want to waste any of your precious time, but I was wondering, since it sounds like you've been here a while, at what point do they teach you to be really condescending and patronizing to those under you?
He turns back around and he looks at you.
Or is that something that you have natural talent at? I'm just curious.
Perhaps it's about the same time that they teach underlings where they belong.
So you don't know. All right, have a good night. And then I walk away.
He won't say anything else before he continues on his way as well.
When you say continue on his way, so technically,
do you want to see where he's going?
No, I really want to throw a knife at him, and it would be a surprise attack, wouldn't it?
If he didn't see it coming, I suppose.
Okay, but first, before I do this, because I do not want to give away what I look like, so he has the masquerade tattoo, which means he could cast Disguise Self once per day, essentially. So in his little corner, unseen, he's going to whisper in Infernal for the tattoo to recreate the canvas that it is on into a new image. So that way he's completely disguised. And then he's going to throw a knife at that guy.
So you're going to come out from hiding?
No.
To be in this disguise?
No, I'm just doing that in case he narrows down my location. So that way he doesn't come around and he's like, oh, I know that kid, or oh, I might see that kid later. It will be a disguise of somebody that I'll never see again. You never lose assets.
You were really ready for me to not have a map prepared for combat. I see how it is.
So originally, I was going to disguise myself as Stockholm or whatever his name is, but I wasn't going to do that. I was going to disguise myself as that and then convince him that he should spar Viola because of the fact that she's really good and that we just got finished sparring and that she could teach him some things. But that's not going to work out if I'm just a moving suit of armor with a random face on it.
Okay.
Knife him.
So I'm going for more of the direct approach. And that is stabbing him in the back.
So you're using your psychic blade or an
Oh, yeah.
actual blade?
Oh no, the psychic blade, because it won't leave any marks. So if he reports me, it's like, well, dude, nothing's there.
I didn't do anything. What are you talking about?
So I have advantage on this turn, right? Because he hasn't seen it coming.
I mean, you want to add some pack tactics in there too?
No, but I wanna add my sneak attack.
You have actual sneak attack as a rogue, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm gonna
Okay.
add that damage, but I can only do that if I have advantage or different circumstances.
So let's set the scene a little bit. So in this bustling town square with people moving about and people in your area sparring, moving further away, people are crisscrossing, etc. You have this little bit of clear space where just Viola and Snow and Ste'yn are in front of Torval and those other gentlemen who are with him. So from your hiding spot, you can kind of peek around, but you would see, at the very least, you're seeing also Viola and Snow and Ste'yn. I'm trying to see and assess if they might be in the way of it being a clear shot for you. Are you waiting for him to walk far enough away?
Yeah,
so
it's got
distance, but
60
he's-
range. It's got 60 range, so I can wait.
Dang. Okay. Okay. I'll give you the sneak attack for it. You let him get far enough. He's making his distance. I will ask how well you see while it's dark outside.
I have dark vision.
Cool.
And it's also 60 foot.
Okay. Go for it. It's not that I don't want this to happen. I'm just assessing the scenario.
24.
Okay.
How good's that armor?
It's pretty good armor, I'll give you that much. It's pretty good armor. Let's see how good, though. Give me 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. What's Ste'yn doing while all this is happening?
She is standing in the back, watching everything that's happening. Has her arms crossed, tapping her fingers, making careful notes of the person who just insulted her friend.
She said the word, guys.
Now we just need her to get her to put best in front of it.
Don't push your luck.
That's gonna
Okay.
be like the final session, you know, when we're all sad because we're like at level 20 or whatever, and we're saying goodbye to our characters. That Ste'yn will finally call her my best friend.
Character development.
Or
having
else
a
when
moment.
someone's dying.
Yes, I was just about to describe one of them's on the ground, the other one holding the other, holding their bloody hand. Best friend.
And then Paris.
I can die happy. Oh no, I just want to sing the last song from Razia Shadow. Take your hands on mine one last time and kiss me goodbye. Oh, it's so good. Guys, if you haven't listened to the soundtrack, do it. It's so good. A 24 will hit his armor class.
Oh yeah. All right. So my first bout of damage is a 8, and then for the sneak attack, you're looking at 11. 19 damage.
Give me a moment, please.
And then I will hide again as my bonus action.
Love
Okay.
Rogue so much.
Which for that I got a 14.
To hide?
Yep.
Oh, okay. To re-stealth. So okay.
But I
Excellent.
could use a psychonic dice if they get above that.
For the psychotic die,
It
do you
says-
have to?
So I could read the description. It says,
Please.
if you fail an ability check using a skill or tool with which you have proficiency, you can roll one psychonic energy die and add the number rolled to the check, potentially turning a failure into success. You expend the die only if the roll succeeds.
Oh, that's insane.
Hey, that's my guy.
That's nuts. Okay,
Tasha's has some great stuff in it.
that's really sick, and that's why Yuha's not getting the other fun things that Yuha wants, because he's got psychotic dice.
This is the first time I used them.
What was that total damage?
Total damage was 19, I believe. Yeah, 19.
Cool. I have to do some quick maths.
Please tell me you didn't just like accidentally kill him or
You
something.
just-
One-
you
It's
just
okay,
let
I
him
got-
know.
I got health potions in my pocket. It's fine.
You watch as your psychic knife, your blade, whistles from your hand, zips forward, just right into the base of his skull. And he just topples forward. No, I'm kidding. He doesn't. But you do see him grab his head, and he lets out this yell. And it is like a tormented kind of yell as he's holding his head and kneeling over. The others who are with him immediately are checking on him, crouching forward, trying to get a eye contact, watching him, arms on him, and he just throws their arms off and spins around, and he looks at Viola.
Oh, whoops.
And his eyes go so narrow as he starts making his way back over, and you can hear each pounding footstep of his armor on the cobblestones. You are taller than him, and that seems to make no difference as he stares up at you those few inches. And he says,
Ste'yn's gonna step forward as he's coming forward until she's about just behind Viola.
he doesn't even seem to notice. And when you
That's
look
okay.
at him, when you see him, you see this rage as he's looking up towards both of you. And you see this fearsome anger in his face. And he says, "Is your life worth it, child?"
I'm sorry. What seems to be the problem? I heard you yell. I don't really know what happened. Are you okay?
You would attack not only a superior, but someone who's meant to be an ally of yours.
I'm sorry. Do you see my weapons out? Does it look like I've just attacked you? Are you assuming things?
Do not play dumb with me. If you should raise a hand to me again,
I've done nothing wrong. I'm not sure why you think this seems to be me, why you have any sort of issue with me. I mean, do we need to go and talk about it? Are you okay?
So can Beau get an angle on it? Because he wants to exonerate his friend. So if he could angle another shot that wouldn't hit her and throw it, that would clearly prove her innocence. So he's going to wait for an opening to attack again in that regards while he's still looking.
Beau, if you're going to do that, the way that where you would be hiding in order to get a shot like that, I feel like you were behind them watching. With him coming right up to them, it's going to be very difficult
Can
to
I
find
reposition?
a very clear opening.
Can
You
I
can attempt
reposition?
to.
Okay.
Give me another stealth check.
All right. That is a 16.
Okay. I will do this fairly so you can
Alright.
all see and roll 20. That is a 9.
Woohoo!
So you reposition yourself and you look for an opening. While he is completely tearing down, or as he believes he is, Viola with Ste'yn behind her, you are welcome to make another attack.
And it still has advantage though, right? So he doesn't see it.
Is it always the
No,
first
I'm
attack?
just asking because if he doesn't see me,
Mhm.
do I get
Is that-
advantage if I'm behind him?
If it were a normal combat scenario, would you always get sneak attack, or is it only
I
for
don't,
first
but
attacks?
so if it was in combat, I wouldn't necessarily have advantage, but I would have sneak attack because he's within 5 feet of one of my allies.
Okay, go for it.
But I'm going to use my bonus action for steady aim, so I will have advantage.
Well, you can't get double advantage, so
well, you just
go
said
for your
you said I
advantage.
didn't have advantage.
No, I said go for it like you would have it.
Yeah. If I can't have it, I'll
He's
have
so
it.
ready to fight. I love it. Go for it. Yep.
You're gonna kill this
16.
man.
I might miss with that one.
That was
You
with
throw
advantage.
this dagger and you watch it sink again
Really?
into his side. You find this chink in the armor and it strikes, and he's holding both his side and his head. Consequences of our actions.
So
Viola,
that's 13 damage.
thank you. Viola, give me another high or low.
Hi.
Okay. As he falls over, like he kind of he leans forward as again he's holding his head and his side where he was hit, and he just strikes out. He lashes out, and you are right in front of him. He lashes out, pulling his blade with him. He's going to make this frenzied strike.
Oh. But it's clearly not. No. It's everything but
You think it matters? Are you trying to rationalize this man? Are you trying to rationalize this man?
We've already established that this man is not smart.
He's kind of ticked off. Let's see. Where are we at?
I mean, how much health pool can he really have at this point?
We can't just kill the guy.
I'm not saying kill him, but do you have memory swipe abilities? we could pen him like in Men in Black.
I'm not high enough level to have modify memory.
That's a 24 to hit.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Okay. So he lashes out with this blade. Man, y'all could have had the fun fight, but you chose this fight. You chose violence this evening.
Well, maybe we're having
Beau
both.
chose violence.
Beau chose violence.
for us.
We're along for the
I
ride.
was trying to choose diplomacy, but I couldn't remember the guy's face.
I wanted to go out for drinks.
Oh yeah, what's
I
her
just wanted
face
to
is
go bar
making us.
hopping.
What's her face is making his dinner. She has that bacon
Clear.
grease.
That's true. You walked off and you ignored the bacon grease.
She had to go get it from her stuff, didn't she?
It's true. So this
Yeah.
is what you do in the meantime?
Yep, this is our downtime. Kicking it back,
Good grief.
relaxing.
Beating people up.
It's going to be 8 slashing damage as he brings his blade out, and when he does, he continues to aim it directly at you. I need you to roll initiative for me. Anyone who's participating, roll initiative.
You know what? Let's go for it.
We in there, boys.
Oh no! I got a 6! I'll just be hiding out here while
my
you guys
gosh.
enjoy the consequences of my actions.
I enjoy the consequences of my
Y'all
action.
take care of that.
Do an
Keep
Yeah.
track of my,
Both of us are going last. The two people instigating this.
keep this going.
I mean, to be honest, I think Viola said like the least amount of instigation. Snow actually mouthed off to the guy.
That's true. Snow didn't help matters either. And I apologize, I have to do this kind of just as the narrator rolls. I don't have it prepared. I mean, what? I have everything prepared all the time.
Oh, it looks like me and that guy. What's that guy's dexterity? Because we tied.
He got a plus. His dex is
Not as good.
a 13.
Mine's much better. I get to go before him. We might down him before he gets to move. We got a lot of damage on this guy already.
Roll 20. You got a
We don't
decent
wanna,
bit
like,
of fight on him.
Kill him.
I told you, I got some health potions. We can bring him back. We just can't
It
make
won't
him
be
go
a
over
problem.
his limit. Yeah, Ste'yn knows about dead
Claire.
bodies.
There it is.
Very grave matter indeed.
So it looks like we have Ste'yn first.
Overall, I feel good about how this is going.
You're a monster.
That makes one of us.
How did this get here?
You might be the only one.
How did our tank of a person get the best initiative?
Snow.
Deal with it.
Viola.
No, we are now.
Yeah. So far, it's an hour we're attacking our superiors. I say we as a
You
collective.
are.
But...
Stop dragging us into your mess.
You have to try and clean up your mess.
I'm just
now.
doing what we all were thinking.
Are you?
Yes.
Yes. And Torval, who also had a 6. Not your day, Torval. Maybe he's drunk. Maybe I should just play it off as him drunk.
Yeah.
You guys haven't faced the real Torval. Oh, it went away. Cool.
I mean,
excellent.
What we're facing is a Torval that got his backstabbed twice, essentially.
With a psychic blade.
It's the perfect crime.
And you're gonna start gaslighting him. You were never hit by anything. There's no damage here.
Oh, yeah.
There's no blood. What are you
Listen.
complaining about?
I got
Baby.
expertise in deception. I'm ready to go.
All right. So, what you see in front of you, you see Torval with his sword aimed directly at Viola's face, and he is just seeing red. He is, his lips just forced together, his hand almost shaking, the whites of his knuckles as he's holding his blade so tight, aimed at her. Ste'yn, you are behind Viola, with this man threatening her very obviously. What would you like to do? Oh,
I take a step.
Sorry, carry on.
Take a step forward and set my hand on his arm, the one with the sword that's pointing at Viola. We are all here to fight for the lights. This is not what needs to happen. Get yourself together and I will get them together as well. And she's going to use her healing hands to give him back 3 hit points.
3 hit points recovered.
So much hard work went into this.
You took my hit points away.
Take that as a sign of good faith and end this before we all regret it.
He just spits at the ground at your feet. If
Cool,
you
for
start
my
something,
But my bonus action,
when
I
you
start
start
blasting.
something, you finish it. You wanted to fight, she'll get her fight.
For my bonus action, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Viola.
Okay?
Oh, nice.
That gives her a +2 to her armor class. A shimmering field appears around her.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do?
No, she's going to stay there, keeping her hand on his arms, just staring him down with quite a glare.
Excellent. Snow, it is your turn.
I am going to mirror Ste'yn on the other side of Viola, and I just have my hands up. I don't have anything in them other than my staff, of course. And I'm gonna say, I think it would be much better for everyone involved. We all just calm down. I'll buy you a drink. We don't have to hurt or maim anyone tonight. I think it would be a lot better that way. What do you say, friend?
His eyes never leave Viola. In fact, he seems to talk to her as he looks her in the eyes, still glaring, and he says, "You came here to spar. And now you're going to let your friends turn you away. This is the only chance you're going to get. I promise you that.
For my action, I am going to hold Vicious Mockery for when he makes an attack.
Holding Vicious Mockery. Excellent! Viola, the one who has been addressed, you've got your fight. What would you like to do with it?
First, I'm just going to say, you're sure you want to do this? Just to be clear, this is you starting it, not me. I've done nothing to you yet.
You approached me. You wanted to spar. And now you're going to ask, as if I were dumb, whether or not you wish to spar. You tell me, child.
I'm going to take a step back and draw both of my short swords.
He just says, good. Good.
Okay, I am going to attack with my short sword. 15.
15 does not quite hit as you go to strike, and he is able to deftly move out of the way.
Okay, and then since I have 2 weapon fighting, I can take a bonus action with my other short sword.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that.
Excellent.
23.
Ooh.
23 will hit.
6 damage.
Excellent. As he sidesteps your first blow, but you were ready to fight, and you come in with your second strike, and it manages to cut past his armor. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Nope.
Okay. Beau.
So
What have you done now, Beau?
So to get more of an idea of the surroundings, are there any buildings at this point kind of nearby?
Not very near. This is a much more open area. There are these little stalls about, but the main building really is the Wild Pike and then the Novice Hut behind it. Further out from the squares where those buildings kind of start up again, but you're a decent distance from them.
Okay, so I'm a decent distance from anything tall, essentially.
I'm gonna try to remember what this world looks like.
Okay.
Trying to think where's the wall. But I think, yeah, I that would be further out because this is like a square, a town square.
So another, because I'm just trying to do an assessment of the area, and I don't know if I need to roll for this, but were I to need to run away, what would be the best? No, wait a second. No, I got a plan.
Yeah, we know.
No. Just hear me out.
Beau's making friends. That's his plan.
Yeah, I know. Hear me out. So do I have
just
mapped
digging
out
around
like the
grave.
best exit strategy? Or
You're
can I
trying
use a free action to kind of map out what would be a good exit strategy?
You're trying to assess the situation as far as an exit. I would say if you're just looking to kind of stealth your way out, you know, like you're
No,
kind
it
of
wouldn't
doing
be
a
a stealth.
follow.
It would be a dash, so it would be very apparent.
Give me a survival check.
All right.
Assessing what's around you for the best possible out.
A dirty 20.
Okay. The way that the area is filled between the people moving around, although this is starting to get a little bit of attention from those nearby, you're starting to see some eyes turning towards you. But otherwise, it's still lively enough. There's still music coming out from the Wild Pike. There's people chattering, people trading and bartering, etc. There is enough distraction, and there are enough stacked things or carts or stalls that you could probably find a way to get around. A straight dash is going to really just run you into people. You're swift enough, you're probably lithe enough, you can get around them, but there are obstacles. You can think of an exit strategy, though. That would probably involve moving around.
Cool. And then the last question is just about approximately how far away are they?
From you?
Yeah.
Let's say no more than, I don't know, 15, 20 feet.
Okay.
If you were backed off hiding.
So about 20 feet, or you want to say 15?
I'll say 20.
All right, cool. So this is Beau's plan. Beau is going to come out from hiding. He's just going to stand upright, essentially. And he's going to yell over to...
Are you still in the armored masquerade?
Oh, yes, of course.
Excellent.
He's going to yell over to the guy, "Hey, listen, you buffoon. Obviously she's not attacking you. Her arms haven't even moved." And then he's going to conjure up one of his blades and be like, "I was attacking you." And he's going to whip one towards him.
Okay. Well, it's definitely not a surprise attack.
Correct. Now...
It's an announced attack.
Yes.
It's a very starkly announced attack.
Very, very
We call that
announced.
telegraphing.
And that's going to be a 17.
And you whiff that blade out
But-
of your hand, and it goes pew.
But time for my bonus action, which is another blade. That's 14, so that one's also going to miss. But
It
now...
got closer.
Correct. Now I'm going to move 20 feet in the direction that was my escape plan. So that way I'm out of range of him. Unless he uses an action to disengage. To dash. So I'm just going to move just enough out of the way to entice him to come closer. But he won't be within melee range of me.
Okay. Okay. He was definitely out of melee range of you.
What? Oh, but he doesn't have 15 feet of movement?
Well, I mean, he would still have to move to catch up.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying that I knew that in general he would have to
Okay.
move. I'm going to be out of his movement range.
Out of his movement. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Beau's not a hefty boy. He's only got a 14 AC.
So you moved 20 feet back from your 20 feet?
Correct. So I'm about 40 feet away from him, but still in range of my knives.
Okay. Fair enough.
Running away from the fight.
Hey, I'm trying to get him away from you.
You're being judged by all
I
sides.
just
Is there anything else you'd like to do,
announced
Beau?
and threw everything. No, that's all I could do. I've done everything. I got nothing left.
Excellent. I'll be honest, this is not where doesn't matter. Okay. It is Torvald's turn. And as he almost uses Viola as like a shield, as a means of like missing those blades. And in all honesty, for sure, if there was a nat 1, you were definitely gonna hit Viola.
Oh yeah.
For sure. So he moves aside. He dodges the second one. And he does look at you as you're backing off.
And I'm going to move. Oh wait, no, actually, I'm not going to do that part.
Beau, it is your turn to give me a high or a low.
Low.
Okay. He has heard your announcement. He looks at you as you back away. He looks back at Viola. So a coward with cowardly friends is the one who approached me tonight. I was right to leave you earlier.
Oh, he's about to die.
And he strikes at Viola.
Oh.
That will activate my
Yes.
Trap card.
My trap card.
I say no, you, and he dies.
The cruelest memery he could have ever heard. So you're gonna roll the damage for your vicious mockery?
Yes, it's a wisdom save. As he goes to swing at Viola, I say, someday you'll go far, and I really hope you stay there.
A plus. All right. For his wisdom save, that's an 18.
So nothing happens, but I hope he feels insulted.
He does. He does. It fuels the flames. It fuels the flames of his attack.
Wonderful.
It's going exactly as planned, as always. So he's going to strike with his blade. Oh, silly me. I didn't even do it right the first time. Let's do it right this time. So let's see.
And Kassie, remember you have a +2 to your armor class right now.
As you glow.
And you have your shield.
strike with this
Oh, wait,
glowing
no,
thing.
you don't have a
That's
shield.
23 to hit.
Oh, no.
Still gonna hit.
Okay. Sorry, I really should copy paste it so I have it ready for next time. For 9 damage.
Hi.
And then he's going to strike again.
How you holding up there? Oh my gosh!
You wanted to fight. That's a 15 to hit.
That's
No,
gotta
I don't know if
miss.
that one will
Okay,
hit.
I was gonna
Okay.
say, that does not miss!
So he swings and he comes back around. He comes back around again with this laughter, but you are just able to pull yourself aside almost as you're staggering from the first blow, and it manages to get you out of the way of his second attack. That'll do it. And he'll look at you as you stagger, and he's smiling. It's not even at this point, right? It's the anger on his face that was there before isn't even the same now. It's almost as if as he took those strikes, it almost seemed to settle the anger just a little bit. The anger seems to be melting away just a little bit. And he's smiling at you, and he's panting. And he still has his blade raised towards you. And he looks at you and he says, "All right. Swing. Ste'yn."
Ste'yn will come around towards Viola. Can I tell how badly off Viola looks?
Years of medical practice.
I honestly, I was not keeping track. I'm trusting you guys to keep track.
I have 1 hit point.
I saw you show that. I want to know if Ste'yn would be able to tell that.
Glorious. She's looking pretty battered from just those couple of strikes, and you can see a skill level difference here.
Cool. Ste'yn's going to put her hand on Viola's shoulder, look at Torvald and say, superiors are supposed to set the example for those below them, which means knowing when to disengage after a point has been made. And she's going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level on Viola.
Okay.
14 hit points back.
I think
Thank
you
you.
also should still have your second wind, so you can even heal yourself.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to do, Ste'yn?
She's just going to step back and cross her arms, looking between the both of them. Very
Disappointed mother look.
I'm not mad. I'm just
There's
disappointed.
no point in staying in this fight.
Did she say that out loud?
Yes.
Even in the midst of combat, he just bursts out laughing.
Yeah. Beau's
And that's
over.
his whole turn. Snow, it is your turn.
I would like to. I don't want this to be my action, but Can I take a quick glance around and see if anyone who would be his superior is around, especially if Nora is around.
Oh, Nora.
Okay. With a quick glance, you see all manner of folks. You don't see anyone who looks particularly authoritative per se. Nobody else seems to be in the same kind of armor as him. Nobody else seems to be giving you the kind of attention that seems to be like they're going to break up the fight. That's just on a first blush. And no,
I
you
can
don't see Nora.
I can assume, though, that Nora would be higher level than him in terms of rank.
You can assume whatever you'd like.
Okay, cool.
Would you like to roll an intelligence or a history check, perhaps?
Sure. I would love to.
Telling you, Snow needs to get off the Nora train.
13.
13. You aren't entirely familiar with how guardianships work. You've not done one before, per se.
Mm-hmm.
What you might catch on to would be that this man introduced himself as Torvald. He said something about when you're a guard, and you know that Nora is captain of the Novices.
Right.
You can piece that together however Snow would piece that together.
All right. Instead of Nora, then, what I am going to do is I'm going to use Minor Illusion to create a sound, and the sound will be the voice of the high-ranking dwarf that we saw earlier.
Okay.
And it's going to say, the sound is going to be his voice saying, Torville, hold.
Okay. Does he have to roll against the deception, or?
That's up to you.
Ah.
It is not listed in the spell description. But the spell description just says if you create a sound, its volume can range from a whisper to a scream. It can be your voice, someone else's voice, etc. And it lasts for up to a minute if I choose.
Okay.
Just have him, Torville. Then he thinks they're just the crowd's chanting his name instead.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
Just what I said, Torville, hold.
Excellent. Snow, it is your turn to give me a high or a low. This is how I make decisions, guys. We flip coins. High?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your voice echoes out in that precisely, magically accurate tone of Granel Braunstone, announcing.
Just for clarification, it's not going to come from me. It will come from behind Torville.
Him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make him turn his back to us.
Excellent. and it says, Torvald, hold. You watch him turn his head and lower his blade as he goes to look. And he starts to look downward because he knows, he seems to recognize the voice. He looks downward as if looking for the one who called to him. Anything else you'd like to do? That was really good timing, I won't lie.
That's it, yeah.
Viola, your opponent just turned his back to you.
Stab him.
I'm also going to hold a hand up to her. Just if she looks like she's going to do anything, I'm just like going to put my hand up. I don't have an action or anything, but just like.
Sure.
Yeah, the gesture is clear. Please stop.
please don't die tonight. You just got here. Okay.
Viola's gonna lower her blades and she'll say, I think we've had enough. Is that your superior calling you? I'll take a step back as well.
Sure. He's looking, seems to very quickly realize there is no one really behind him, and then these moving people who are sort of watching, and he'll look back. He kind of chuckles a little bit. And again, that rage seems to have died down. Especially as he's looking over you and kind of the marks that he's left on you. What was it you said to him? I'm sorry.
I said, I think we've had enough. Is that your superior calling you?
Okay. When he looks at you, doesn't seem to be. Have you had quite enough? Or do you have one more round in you?
Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. We got him on the fence.
Have they learned a lesson?
You have an action
surge. If I say yes, am I going to be able to take my action?
Yes.
You have an action surge. You can slice him up.
You haven't taken an action yet. But I'd say you've done enough of the... You don't have any more free action. I'd say the talking was the free action.
Stabby.
Viola, do it.
It's whatever you would do.
I think Viola would say, I asked for a fight and I got it, so let's keep going. And I'm going to attack with my first short sword.
Children, I am surrounded by children.
I like to imagine that Ste'yn and Snow just like look at each other like these idiots. We're doing our best here.
8 is not going to hit.
Maybe I shouldn't have healed her.
I wasted a spell slot on you, child!
Then I'm just going to go ahead and do my second wind.
Go for it.
And heal for 5 points damage.
Okay.
This is how I get better.
I love it. Beau.
Oh, you know Beau's attacking.
Beau!
This time, though, because he didn't move any closer to me, so I have no risk of him coming at me. So I'm going to remove my movement and give myself advantage on the attack. That way I don't accidentally hit anyone.
Okay.
All right, so I rolled, 18.
18 will hit.
All right, so first set of damage is a 5, and then my sneak attack is a 7. So 12 points of
total.
damage.
Excellent.
I'm just going to keep a stoic frame. I'm taking a note out of Ste'yn's book, and I'm just going to stand tall and menacing.
Menacingly.
I mean, he's a pretty menacing-looking guy in this state.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
And that's all I can do. I have no movement, and I have no bonus action. 12 points of damage.
Torval looks at Viola as she attempted the strike, and he was able to lean back out of the way. And the laugh that comes out of him is probably the most joyful thing you've heard from him in any of this at all, even from earlier in the day. Like, he seems to be enjoying this moment as he does this turn with momentum to bring his blade back around to strike at you.
Maybe I do have psychotic knives.
Maybe you do.
He's just gotten more and more unstable, it sounds like.
That is only an 8 to hit. I thought it was about to be a 1, I won't even lie. He misses with the first strike and comes back around with a 16 to hit. Doesn't hit. And he laughs again as he brings the blade around, almost as if you can't quite tell if perhaps he missed on purpose as he's coming around. And he holds it out to you. And he tells you, tell them to stand down. We'll finish this right now.
On our next tale.
I went looking for a fight.
This is not the way to earn your death.
Beau, please give me a Constitution saving throw. You've given my friend quite a run. What is your name?
What'd I miss?
Ste'yn's going to turn and backhand him.
Hey, what's your favorite color?
Viola runs over and gives her a hug.
Could be like one of them heart things.
Sometimes you have to fail to make yourself better.
Look, some people have comfort blankets, some people have comfort skulls.
Oh my gosh, I have mail.
And then you just hear a voice kind of right over your shoulder, just saying,